Welcome back, people. Welcome back, people. My good people. We are at part 2 of day 4 of REACTOBER. And I'm Daisy Bear. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can become a cubby. And if you're a returning cubby, then you know you should be liking the video. Welcome back. And for part 2 of day 4 of REACTOBER, we're going to be doing True Boyfriend Horror Story by Wansee Entertainment. Another Wansee video. Y'all know I love Miss Wansee. Am I saying it right? I hope so. But I love their horror stories. It's October. It's time to jump on in it.
I've never had the best of luck with guys. I appear to have poor taste when it comes to dating. After separating for good from my kid's father after 5 years, I was ready to just be myself. About 3 months of being a single mother, my neighbor approached me stating that a friend of his, Steve, would like to meet me. It didn't take long before he charmed his way into my life. The first 6 months were amazing, but he began to drink more and more, and each time he would get extremely agitated. He would start fights with random people, and even some of our friends.
Steve?
Slowly, our friends would stop coming around, knowing how Steve got when he drank. This, however, did not stop him from drinking. But now all the anger was aimed at me. It took roughly 6 to 8 months of buildup, from name-calling and shoving to punching and choking. Suddenly, this became a very abusive relationship. One time, I escaped out of the bathroom window. He later found me by beating up a friend of mine until he told him where I was.
Wait. Things like this happen in real life, people. So just because you see a cartoon, be vigilant. The people that are around you should treat you like they want you around. Now, if you dating somebody that's an alcoholic, watch their actions.
Steve began stripping all of my clothes off in a drunken rage while laughing at me and challenging me to go ahead and try to escape while I was naked.
Just watch the person's actions.
The last night of abuse was by far the worst. Before Steve started drinking that night, I told him that my son, 3 years old, was not feeling very well, and I was going to stay with him as he fell asleep. My plan was to spend the night with my son. At around 2:30 in the morning, I heard the bedroom door open. I lied there pretending to be asleep.
Steve.
Several seconds went by. I held my breath as tears began to form in my eyes. When I suddenly felt his hand on top of my head, he grabbed my hair and yanked me out of bed, whispering in my ear, "I know you're avoiding me." Once in the living room, he threw me on the floor, then accused me of trying to leave him and demanded to know why. Before I could answer, he angrily came to the conclusion that it was another man.
Because you are bidding on me and I don't care to be here anymore. You think I got something else going on. Sociopath, we just talked about that.
I swear to God, if I catch you with another man, I'll kill you and him.
He was obviously more drunk than normal.
Is that what you're gonna do?
He punched and kicked me a couple of times, and I fell to the floor. I started to crawl to my son's room, and he slowly came from behind me, asking,
"Where do you think you're going?"
He then walked in front of me, kneeled down, and said,
"You stay right there or I'm gonna hurt you real bad."
He then sat on the couch and watched me as I sobbed on the floor. After about 30 minutes, it appeared that he passed out on the couch. I decided that this was my chance to escape. I put on an oversized shirt, picked up my son, and slowly crept by him. He suddenly woke up and grabbed my leg and said, "Where are you going?" I stammered out that I was going into the kitchen with my son to get him a drink. He then angrily replied, "Hurry up." As soon as I entered the kitchen, I ran out of the front door with no pants on, no shoes, and no purse. I carried my son all the way to the police station, which was thankfully only a few blocks away. After hours, the way the police station is set up is that you go into a room and press a button and talk to someone on the intercom. I ran in and put my back to the wall and pushed the button behind me as I slowly slid down into a sitting position while holding on to my son, waiting for Steve to burst through the door at any second. I remembered thinking if I was going to be beaten, at least it would be on camera. On the speaker I heard, "How can I help you?" All I could do was cry. I couldn't even get a word out of my mouth. I didn't know how to explain. Two officers came out to assist me. A female officer took my son and got...
I know I didn't really stop it much because this one was like, jeez, I couldn't even find a way to stop it. Abuse is real, people. And if you see something, say something, please.
Some food, and I went with the male officer to make a report, and he gave me a blanket. After 15 minutes, I heard Steve screaming my name as they brought him down the hallway. I held my breath as if he knew I was behind the door. 30 minutes later, an officer came back with a sergeant. At first, I thought they were going to tell me to go back home and gather my belongings while Steve was being held in custody. Instead, they asked me more questions about his anger issues and if there had been any previous fights. I explained to them Steve's alcohol problem and how he had become increasingly more abusive. They then showed me a list in Steve's handwriting detailing how he would dismember my body in a good spot where I would be buried without being found.
Do y'all see how, like, living with people, you may be scared, but the longer you stay there scared, the more they plot out towards you? If that lady would not have went to the police station, she'd probably be dead by now because her boyfriend was probably going to take her out. If you are in these situations, try your best. Your friends, family, any authoritative member, like anybody that you know that's going to help you, please look out for assistance because these people will kill you.
He also had possible dates written down with past dates crossed out. I couldn't breathe when I read this.
Dates.
And by this point, tears were streaming down my face.
Of him planning to kill her.
I looked at the cop and asked, "What does this mean?" He looked back at me and said, "It means you're lucky."
This was your site.
Steve was charged with attempted murder.
That was almost your obituary.
I left back home to Arizona before the trial started, but gave a detailed statement before I left. Steve, of course, pled not guilty, but in the end, he received 2 years in prison. Just before I left for Arizona, I received a letter from Steve. It simply read, "It's not over. You'll always be mine."
That's not true. If you got the hell on, you can stay missing. Just do not give those people like a chance to contact you again. If they find you, it's a possibility. But my best bet is try your best to get out of the situation. Call for help if you can. Call the police. Try to escape when like that person is not paying attention. Try your best to get away from them because these people mean you harm. They don't mean you any good. We clearly seen that she had a son and he did not care about the son either. So yeah. This was part 2 of Reactober. Thanks to Wansee. If you want to check the video out, I'll put the whole thing in the description box below. But you guys, I'm Daisy Bear. Welcome to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. You want to know why? Because this is your channel. This is my channel. This is our channel. And we need that engagement. Hope you guys like it. Thanks so much. I'm out.